with technology and the environment. So I will turn it over to you, Emily. I look forward to hearing from you.
Okay. Well, my disability is, it's not very specific. It's just a learning disability. It's nonverbal learning disability. So I have trouble with nonverbal communication. So if people aren't saying things, I tend not to be able to pick up on the nonverbal cues. But I've also had a lot of trouble with reading and taking notes. So that's what I will focus on today. First of all, I have been a longtime user of the Kindle, which has been great because it gives you the ability to customize the font on the fly rather than having to buy large print books all the time. So you can change the font based on the time of day, because sometimes in the morning I can read like smaller font, and at night my eyes are tired, so I make the font bigger. And also Amazon and Audible work together very well, so I have now used many audiobooks that pair with the Kindle book so that you can easily switch from reading the book to listening to it. So, for example, in the car, I tend to listen to the audiobook because I get car sick if I try and read. But if I'm at home just sitting in bed or on the couch, I will go ahead and read, and depending on where I left off in either position, it'll sync as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi, of course. And that's awesome. And then I also got myself an iPad, which has been very helpful, especially in college, for note-taking and just easy access to different reading apps for all the material that you get from your teachers, such for the names of the apps at the moment. So when I'm finished speaking, I will look them up and put them in the chat. And I also use a LiveScribe Smart Pen to take notes in lectures because I have trouble keeping up with listening and writing everything down at the same time. Today was a prime example when I was at the World Usability Day conference at UConn. So I resorted to writing down the main topics of the presentation and then having the rest of the information just come in audio form after it. So essentially bookmarking each new topic. And that's very helpful because afterwards I can go back and on a specific word or phrase, and it takes me back to that point within the lecture. And these are also shareable, which I actually just figured out today. I didn't realize they were shareable, but you can share them and save them to Google Drive, and other people, even if they don't have the LiveScribe apps, if they have a web browser, they can go to livescribe.com/player and download the LiveScribe PDF, and it will play the audio via clicking within the web browser. Is there anything else? And then I also use reminders and timers on my phone to keep myself organized, in addition to calendar to keep me on time for all my appointments. So that is basically everything that I use in a nutshell. I hope this was very helpful.
Thank you so much, Emily. I appreciate your sharing tonight. Now, I know you were here at the World Usability Conference. So can you tell us what was your favorite session that you went to today? And just give us like a one-word summary of what you got out of it.
I have to say my favorite would have had to be the one about hot new trends in assistive technology, done by Nicole Feeney from the NEAT Center at Oak Hill, because she talked about things such as 3D printing, voice control through Alexa, different new functions of Chromebooks and iOS devices. And she tried very hard to get us all riled up, but it was the last session of the day, so everybody was kind of like done. But it was very good.
I know what you mean. I presented 2 sessions, so I was kind of done by the end of the afternoon. But I think, you know, those are a lot of the tools that are very helpful for you, but it might be helpful for some of the other people on the webinar. So I see some of those coming through in the chat area. We'll also, some of the major ones that you mentioned, I'll try to post those on our website along with the recording as well. So thank you so much for joining us tonight and